I'm 5 years old. My big brother just pushed me down the stairs. I tumble down every step and hit the floor. My mom screams, but I can't move. I can't blink. The last thing I see is my brother's face at the top of the stairs. He looks terrified. Then everything goes white. I wake up at my own funeral. My mom can barely stand. My dad holds her up the whole time. Max shows up late. He stands in the back and doesn't say a single word. Everyone in the room stares at him. He leaves before it's over. Nobody stops him. I run up to my parents. Mom, Dad, I'm right here. My mom looks straight through me. My dad drops to his knees begging God to bring me back. I'm a ghost. I can't even hug them goodbye. Then a woman made of pure light appears. She says I have one wish, anything I want. I don't even think. I want my family back. But there's a catch. I have to wait 9 months, and I can only be reborn if I forgive the person who killed me. My own brother. The same brother who pushed me because he thought our parents loved me more than him. So I watch. Every single day. I watch my mom scream at Max to get out and never come back. My dad blocks the door and says he's just a kid. It was an accident. Max walks out the front door without saying a word. He sits on wet concrete in the rain whispering my name. I sit right next to him. He can't see me. He can't hear me. But I stay. At 2 in the morning, my dad sneaks outside and carries him back inside while mom sleeps. The next morning, Max wakes up early and makes breakfast for the first time. Burnt hot pockets on a cracked plate. He slides it across the table like a peace offering. Nobody says a word. My mom walks over to him and collapses into his arms. Welcome back, Max. Days turn into weeks. I watch Max clean the house without being asked. I watch my dad hold my mom when she cries at night. I watch them eat dinner in silence at a table with one empty chair, my chair. And standing there invisible, watching my broken family try to fix itself, I forgive him. Not because he deserved it, because holding on to anger was heavier than dying. 9 months later, I open my eyes. I'm wrapped in a pink blanket. My brother's face is the first thing I see. This time he's smiling. 5 years after that, I sit them all down. My mom and dad have no idea. They think I'm just their second daughter. But I remember everything. I tell them I remember Max pushing me down the stairs. I tell them I died and met an angel who gave me one wish. My brother drops to his knees. He says he never forgave himself. I look at him and say, I forgave you before I was even born. Would you forgive your brother? My whole family has rainbow hair. Mine shines the brightest of all of them until it turns purple. My brother Theo is the best in every way. I am the spare. Dad compares our report cards side by side every time. Theo always wins. Mom buys Theo a new iPad. She gives me her old used ribbons. On our birthday, Theo gets a cake with his name and icing. I get a candle stuck in plain bread. Mom watches me blow it out and sighs. Maybe next year you earn one. Theo slides his slice across the table to me anyway. He is the only one who notices I exist. One morning, Dad drives Theo to school. I get shoved onto the public bus alone. Dad stops at a convenience store on the way. A truck comes through the crossing and hits the car. Theo is inside it. He is rushed into surgery. By the time the doctor comes out, his face says everything. Fortunately, Theo will live. However, he will never be able to walk again. Mom collapses into Dad's arms. I move closer to Mom, but Dad pushes me away. He tells me that everything is my fault because I am the family's bad luck. He tells me it should have been me in that car instead. My heart aches, tears come running down, and nothing comes out when I try to speak. That night, I sit alone in the hospital hallway. Nurses walk past me, and nobody asks my name. Something drops onto my sleeve. It is a strand of my hair. The strand is purple. I run to the mirror down the hall. Every rainbow strand on my head has turned purple overnight. The next morning, Mom stares at me like I am a stranger. She tells me I am cursed. Dad will not let me into the taxi. He says, your purple hair doesn't belong to us. I walk home for 2 hours. A packed bag is already sitting by the front door. They kick me out of the house and shut the door. I wander for 3 days with nowhere to go. My stomach aches. My feet are giving up. Behind a thrift shop, I find a broken comb, half buried in trash. I used it to brush my hair when suddenly something hard drops onto the pavement. A purple diamond glints under the streetlight. I comb again. More purple diamonds fall. But for the first time, I realize that my hair can be something my family will be proud of. A pawn shop owner buys the first one and asks no questions. That same day, I rent a room of my own. I eat a real meal for the first time in my life. Every morning I comb my hair and more diamonds fall. I go back to school and I support myself in all possible ways. Years pass. I build a home for people with nowhere to stay. One afternoon, I walk the halls of my care home. I freeze at room 12. My parents sit in matching chairs. Their rainbow hair has gone completely gray. I move closer and tell them that I am their daughter. Mom cannot believe her eyes. Dad cannot speak at all. I tell them that I own the place. They break into tears telling me they were wrong. They even ask for forgiveness. Just then a wheelchair rolls in. It's Theo, who never stops hoping that I will come back someday. He reaches for my hand and says, "I never stopped believing in you." I cry my heart out and forgive my parents. For the first time in many years, my family looks at me like I am worthy to be their daughter. Would you have forgiven them? I am 4 years old when my twin brother disappears at the playground. We are on the swings together. Mom turns to answer her phone. I swing higher and feel the wind on my face. I close my eyes for 1 second. When I open them, Noah is gone. Mom screams his name. Police search the whole area. They search every house in town. They never find my brother. Dad rushes home from work. He yells at Mom for losing their only son. He calls her the worst mother ever. I grab his leg and beg him to stop yelling. Mom says she only looked away for just 1 second. I tell Mom it is not her fault. They both fall to the floor crying. I lost my twin, and now I am losing my family. Weeks turn into months. The photos of Noah come down from the walls. Mom hides his clothes in the attic. Nobody in the house says his name anymore. But every Sunday, I walk to the playground alone. I sit on his empty swing and whisper, "Good morning, Noah." Then I am 6 when Mom finds me at the park one Sunday. She tells me to forget him. Forgetting him would be losing him twice. I turn 10 years old. Mom and Dad have a new baby. I name her Hope. Hope that one day Noah will come home. They smile again for the first time in years. But every Sunday, I still go to the playground. The chains have rusted now, but I push his swing and hope he will come back one day. Now I am 11 years old. It is a warm Sunday afternoon. The playground should be full of kids. But today, it is empty. I sit on my usual swing and stare at his. Then, I hear footsteps behind me. A boy my age sits on Noah's swing. He looks like he is searching for something. I turn to look at him. My heart stops. He has my face, my eyes, my nose. He stares at me like he is remembering something old. He asks me if I come here every Sunday. I nod. He tells me he has been having dreams all summer. He dreams of a girl with his face on a swing. My hands start to shake. I pull a photo from my pocket. The last photo Mom ever took of us. He pulls an old photo from his own pocket. A photo of us on these same swings. Tears run down his cheeks. He whispers one word, Lily, my name. He tells me a woman took him from this playground when we were 4. She could not have a son of her own. He grew up calling her Mom. He believed it his whole life. She got sick this summer and passed away. On her deathbed, she begged him for forgiveness. She gave him the old photo. Then she told him to find his real family. He has been dreaming of this playground ever since. I pull him off his swing and hold him tight. I have waited 7 long years for this moment. I run home with Noah right away. Mom sees Noah and falls to her knees. She begs him for forgiveness. She tells him she has been a bad mother for 7 long years. Noah forgives her and tells her she is not a bad mother. Dad falls beside them and apologizes to Mom. Hope finally meets her big brother. The next day, we walk to the playground together. I sit on my swing. Noah sits on his. For the first time in 7 long years, his swing is not empty. Would you ever stop hoping? My family kicks me out of the house, but they have no idea that I am their greatest treasure. My name is Emily, one of 3 triplets. My sisters have beautiful rainbow-colored hair like our parents. Mine is green. They get good grades and presents. I get good grades and nothing. At dinners, they get the seats beside Mom and Dad. I get the far end of the table. Still, I'm grateful there's food to eat. While they go out, I stay to clean the whole house. Dad comes back with a bracelet for me. I feel so happy. But that night, I overhear Dad say he found it at the park. They are all laughing at me. On my birthday, they throw a big party for my sisters, but they forget me completely. I watch them open their gifts alone. I whisper happy birthday to myself. Sometimes I wish I had rainbow hair just like theirs. Maybe then they would not look down on me. But deep down, I love my green hair. My sisters point at my hair and laugh. They call me the ugly weed of the family. One afternoon, I take a nap, and my sisters sneak in and cut my hair. I wake up to their laughter. The hair I love is all over the floor. Then something magical happens. Every green strand on the floor turns into a real emerald. The next morning, I take the emeralds to a jeweler. She confirms they're genuine and offers to buy them. She pays me more money than I've I've ever seen in my life. I hide it inside my treasure box. I plan to use it to buy gifts for my family. Maybe then they'll finally love me back. One day, my sisters notice my new shoes. They wonder how the hated one suddenly has money. That night, Luna shares her favorite toy. Aurora gives me half her pancake. I feel loved for the first time. Then they ask to borrow some money. I open my treasure box and hand them some. They see where I hide it and smile at each other. The next morning, my treasure box is empty. I know right away who took it. Later, my sisters come home with new iPhones and gifts for mom and dad. They lie and say they saved up for it. When I try to tell the truth, dad accuses me of being jealous. No one ever believes me in this house. The next day, mom and dad storm into my room after my sisters accuse me of stealing. Dad finds the box full of cash and mom is furious. I watch my sisters laughing behind them. I know I have been set up, but I am too tired to explain. They throw me out with nowhere to go. I cannot believe I am kicked out for something I did not do. Alone on the street, I pull a strand of my hair and watch it turn into an emerald. I sell it and rent a small room, but money cannot buy a family. A kind couple takes me in and wants to adopt me. For the first time, someone chooses me. A week later, I find out my parents were in an accident. At the hospital, my sisters cry. They cannot afford mom and dad's surgery. I keep cutting my hair until I go bald. Every strand turns into an emerald. When my parents wake up, they learn the truth. The daughter they threw out saved their lives. They break down in tears. My sisters cannot even look at me, but by then it is too late. My new family loves me more than ever. One day our car drives past the market. My old family is selling things on the street. They spot me, but I look away. I no longer carry hatred in my heart. Being loved is worth more than any emerald.